Hello guys, and welcome to DoubleBuff.net's newest champion guide. This guide's going to be featuring Lee Sin, the Blind Monk. Since Lee Sin is a very versatile champion and can be run very successfully in the top lane and the jungle, this guide will be covering both of these areas. My runes stay the same between both areas, being flat armor seals, flat attack damage marks, flat magic resist glyphs, and flat attack damage quints. If you are laning against an AD heavy top lane or team, you can trade out these glyphs for attack speed or magic resist per level. If you are against an opponent that stacks armor such as Malphite, you will want to take flat armor pen marks instead. I take 9-21-0 masteries for both areas, focusing on sustain for lane and faster clears in the jungle. For summoner spells in top lane, I run Flash Ignite for better escapes and initiations, primarily focused on Lee Sin's ultimate. In the jungle, I run Flash and Smite for the same reasons. However, you can take Ignite or Exhaust if you would like extra damage or your team is lacking in Exhaust. While I explain my reasoning behind my skill order for the jungle, I will be displaying the full jungle path for Lee Sin. Remember that this is only a demonstration and you will almost always want to gank a lane after you get red buff. My skill order for the early and late game for the jungle is focused primarily on ganks. Since Lee Sin's damage falls off late game, you are going to want to take advantage of his early game as much as possible. To do this, I focus primarily on Sonic Wave as it does the most single target damage. Lee Sin, for me, was one of the hardest champions to start out with. I could never land a Sonic Wave and never really got him. If you find yourself in the same boat, the best way to practice is constantly playing normal games to understand every mechanic that Lee Sin offers. I will be going over these mechanics that require practice later in the video. Even after I had trouble starting out with him, Lee Sin is now one of my favorite and most played champions. After maxing Sonic Wave, I will focus on Safeguard, as it provides utility for yourself and teammates when they need it most, around mid to late game. In the top lane, you will want to focus primarily on Safeguard, as this skill can literally outmatch any lane. Make sure to almost always be using the shield to block damage, and auto attack minions to lifesteal as well. Using this combination is the most sustained possible for top lane, as it can be used every 8 seconds without having to worry about mana running out. After Safeguard, you'll want to focus on Sonic Wave for extra burst, and then Cripple for late game utility. Of course, you'll want to level Dragon's Rage at levels 6, 11, and 16 as always. As Lee Sin, you should never be building the same items every game. Your build should always be looking at the enemy team and seeing what would work best against them. However, if you are winning your lane or jungle extremely hard and feel confident, you can run double Dorons and a Bloodthirster to snowball your strong early game. This is a strong build almost always if you are winning. If you are about even with your opponents, against AP you will want to build Merc Treads and a Hex Drinker to negate the AP damage. If you are against an AD heavy lane or team, you can get 1 to 2 Doran's shields in lane, and run Ninja Tabby and Wriggles for either lane or jungle. Your core build in the jungle, if you are about even, is Wriggles, Heart of Gold, and Frozen Mallet. This focuses on clearing time, survivability, and pinning opponents down. Again, your endgame build should never look the same, but strong items for late game on Lee Sin consist of Maw of Malmortius, Randuin's Omen, Last Whisper, Guardian Angel, Trinity Force, Bloodthirster, and Ghostblade. Playing as Lee Sin, you will want to be the initiator as well as an assassin. Landing Lee Sin's Sonic Wave is his most difficult mechanic to master because it relies on a lot of prediction. The higher skill level people are, the less predictable they will be. It is always a pain to be Lee Sin when your opponent is walking in the most awkward way possible and somehow they escape. There are ways to counteract this, however. When you see people trying to juke your Q, you want to either make them run side to side, in which case you can get close enough to land your Tempest/Cripple, run in a straight line backwards, or run into a wall. During these moments are when it's easiest to land your Sonic Wave. A good tip when using Sonic Wave is to wait until your opponent wants to flash. If you land the Sonic Wave and then follow up after the flash goes off, you will travel to them and land the killing blow without wasting flash. Also, you want to use Resonating Strike at the latest moment possible. A devastating combo is landing Sonic Wave first, using Ignite, Tempest, Dragon's Rage, and then Resonating Strike. With the right amount of damage, you can combo people down from bold to 0 with this method. I recommend always carrying 1 to 2 wards on Lee Sin, as it can usually save you needing to flash, as you can safeguard to a ward. A good way to initiate on Lee Sin in the late game is landing Sonic Wave on the enemy team and then flashing behind and using Dragon's Rage on a high priority target such as the AD or AP carry. You can use Safeguard to your team if you don't get stunned during this time as well. This is the best way to be effective during late game since Lee Sin falls off. Lee Sin hard counters Akali as he reveals her in her stealth, out-sustains and out-damages her in lane. He also counters squishy, low-disable champs such as Katarina. He is hard countered by Aurelia as after 6 she can match his sustain and outbursts him by far without needing to build damage. He is also countered by champions with a lot of crowd control. Thank you guys for watching and be sure to check out DoubleBuff.net for our newest champion guides.